To escape the obsessive grip those three women had on me, I faked my own death. I Chen Xin was once the most undisputed legend of this era. No family backing, no lucky breaks. With nothing but the 3-foot blade in my hand, I cut down every injustice in the world and reached the very peak of the martial way. The world called me the sword sovereign of the mystic heavens, a once-in-a-millennium genius, a living monument to the sword. But those three women treated that monument like a treasure they had to keep for themselves. Every single one of them was the kind of person who could stomp her foot and shake the entire world 3 times over. Yet all three chose to fixate their obsession on me alone. Feng Qian, the empress who sat on the highest throne, was willing to dismiss her 3,000 consorts for me and gamble the stability of her entire empire, just to spend her life by my side. Luo Qingqing, the demoness who ruled over all dark forces, was ready to slaughter the entire righteous faction for me and pit herself against the whole world, just to be with me forever. And my master, Yun Weishui, cold as ancient ice from the highest heavens, was willing to shatter the Tao heart she had guarded for 300 years, just to cultivate the great Tao alongside me. But I was just exhausted. The endless entanglement, the suffocating devotion, had worn down the sword heart that once only longed for the blade, leaving me more drained and shackled than ever before. So I staged a spectacular fall from grace. In a legendary battle against the demons from beyond the realm, I took down the demon emperor and we both perished. Not even ash remained. From that day on, I took the name Wang Ernu and disappeared from the world, taking a servant job at a rundown sect in the middle of nowhere, chopping wood and hauling water every day, happy as could be. But today, those three powerhouses actually decided to team up and investigate my death and set up their joint investigation headquarters right here at this backwater Qingfeng sect. Are you kidding me? Those three not tearing each other apart on sight would already be a miracle. So how are they working together? I blended into the crowd, watching those three terrifying women descend from the sky, one trailed by an imperial dragon aura overbearing and unmatched, one shrouded in dark demonic energy, wickedly mesmerizing, and the last carried a cold piercing sword intent, sharp and otherworldly. We disciples with weak cultivation felt our knees buckle under the pressure and dropped to the ground in waves. I was right in the middle, so I went down with them, head bowed as low as it would go. 3 streaks of light descended from the sky, landing on the platform of the training ground. The light faded, revealing 3 breathtakingly beautiful women. Feng Qian carried a natural commanding aura between her brows that could bend the world to her will. Luo Qingqing had a captivating figure, as if everything in the world was just her plaything, and Yun Weishui wore an expression of icy calm, like an immortal untouched by the mortal world. Welcome, Her Majesty the Empress. The Demon Lord and the immortal Feng Qianing did not spare them a single glance. Her gaze swept across the entire crowd. I buried my head even deeper, wishing I could dig a hole in the ground and bury myself in it. But things did not go as I hoped. Those 3 gazes that instantly drained my strength, after sweeping the crowd all locked onto the same spot, landing with perfect precision on my completely ordinary face. I stumbled back a step in shock, nearly unleashing my thunder escape technique and bolting on the spot. Honored guests, the entire sect has been cleaned and prepared for your arrival. Your quarters are also ready. Would you like to rest first? Feng Qianing pulled her gaze away and gave a quiet Luo Qingqing let out a yawn. Yun Weishui's gaze lingered on my face half a second longer, but finally looked away. I let out a long, slow breath, feeling like I had just walked back from the gates of death. You stay. My heart that had just settled shot straight back into my throat. It was my master Yun Weishui who had spoken. I stiffly raised my head and found her looking right at me. Every eye in the crowd, including Feng Qianing and Luo Qingqing, focused on me once again. The immortal is calling for you. Stop standing there, get moving. Yes, right away. What is your command, immortal? What is your name? In reply to the immortal, this one is called Wang Ernu. How old are you? 18. Why did you come to Qingfeng sect? My family is poor. My folks said joining a sect meant having food to eat. Yun Weishui, since when did you start taking interest in some country bumpkin like this? Immortal Ling Shuang if you need someone to run errands. My palace has plenty of sharp eunuchs to spare. Why bother with someone this dull and clumsy? Those two were playing off each other, acting like they were mocking me, but really probing Yun Weishui. When these 3 women got together, every word they said had a hidden blade behind it. Why do you smell like firewood? Hearing that, 10,000 horses stampeded through my mind. I chop wood every single day. Of course I smell like firewood. Anyone with half a brain would not need to ask that. In reply to the immortal, this servant is just a wood-chopping errand boy. Wood-chopping, then come split that sword-testing stone over there. Are you serious right now? That thing is used by inner disciples to test their sword chi. Incredibly hard. Forget an axe. Even an ordinary spiritual weapon can barely leave a scratch on it. And she wants me a servant to split it. Is she just trying to mess with me? Immortal, there is no way I can split that. If I actually chop it, I will blow my cover. If I do not, I am disobeying orders. Which is even worse. Using skill is too obvious. I need brute force. But Wang Ernu is not that strong. Sometimes to act like a total loser, you just learn from the losers around you. So I let out a loud shout, swung the hatchet with all my might, and slashed hard at the edge of the stone. Ah, no. A sharp crack. Sparks flew everywhere. The black iron stone did not budge, not even a scratch on it, while the hatchet in my hand snapped in half. Ha ha ha! Is this guy a joke? Chopping a testing stone with a hatchet? Is he out of his mind? These idiots are so easy to fool. Ha ha ha! Yun Weishui, is this the guy you picked? I am dying of laughter. He cannot even hold a knife straight. Do not chop your own foot off. From today on, you are done chopping wood. Come be my personal servant. What personal servant? This plot is all wrong. Before I could even react, Feng Qianing and Luo Qingqing flipped out. No way. What do you mean, Yun Weishui? Some random country boy? Has no right to get close to you. Before I could even react, Feng Qianing and Luo Qingqing flipped out. No way, Yun Weishui. What do you mean? Some random country boy? Has no right to get close to you. I also think it is a bad idea. This kid looks like an idiot. What if he is a spy sent by someone else? Let me search his soul first. Oh crap. My scalp tingled. With Demon Lord Lo Ting around, if she searches my soul, my turtle breath and disguise skills would never fool her. You want to kill him right in front of me? No. I am just curious about a guy who caught your eye. I wonder what his soul tastes like. How dare you? Do you think I do not exist? This place is under my rule now. I am claiming this servant. Take him back to the palace. He will make a great eunuch for the bedpans. Eunuch cleaning bedpans. This woman is ruthless. His chopping just reminded me of an old friend. Eunuch cleaning bedpans. This woman is ruthless. His chopping just reminded me of an old friend. Chenshi. He chopped wood for 3 years before getting famous. His form is super similar to this guy. Hearing the words old friend, the tense vibe instantly froze. I thought my acting was flawless, but I did not expect that around them. One careless move would give me away. Luo Qingcheng walked up to me. She gently lifted my chin with her finger, forcing me to look into her eyes. Let me see how much he looks like him. Her eyes looked like a vortex, ready to suck your soul right in. I lowered my head and replied, "Spare my life, Demon Lord. I would not dare." Feng Qianning scoffed coldly. "Umph! Look up." I had no choice but to look up, right into her majestic face. Her eyes scanned my face inch by inch. She gave a cold judgment. The face is off, so are the eyes. His aura is completely different too. The face is off, so are the eyes. His aura is completely different too. Yun Weixue, you are sick with longing. Even a piece of wood looks like him to you. Yun Weixue did not argue, and just said calmly, "Maybe," but Luo Qingcheng would not let it go. She pinched my chin a little harder. Even though these eyes lack spirit, the color is just like that heartless man. Both are a rare amber color. The world is huge. There are plenty of people with the same eyes. Luo Qingcheng smiled. Then let us check something else. She suddenly let go of my chin and grabbed my wrist like lightning. A cold demonic energy pierced my veins. My turtle breath technique instantly maxed out, locking away my last bit of sword saint essence deep inside my core, leaving only Wang Ernu with faint and negligible energy in my veins. Blocked meridians. Mediocre talent. Barely any spiritual energy in him at all. What a total loser. Now do you believe it is just a coincidence? Feng Qianning stayed silent, but the tense vibe eased up a lot. Feng Qianning stayed silent, but the tense vibe eased a lot. Boring. Just a useless lookalike. With that, she turned to leave, but Feng Qianning suddenly spoke. Hold on. She walked right up to me, taking a sword tassel from her dragon pouch. Woven entirely from North Sea ice silk, it held a smooth white jade stone, carved with an ancient Chen character. This was the tassel of my old sword untainted. Feng Qianning gave me this unbreakable ice silk. The warm jade healed the soul. It was a perfect match for my sword. I remember during that fake death battle, to make it look totally real, I blew myself up along with the sword, destroying my body and soul. This tassel should have turned to ash too. How did she find it? Feng Qianning's voice carried a rare fragility. This was found in the Tianyuan ruins. His only leftover item. She held the tassel out to me. Hold this! My scalp tingled again. That jade wasn't ordinary. It was a soul-nurturing jade. It held a trace of my core sword intent. It only glows for me or my exact lineage. Only I or someone sharing my sword intent can make it glow by touch. Yun Weishu was bluffing me. But Feng Qianning was dead serious. Feng Qianning's voice turned cold. The Imperial Dragon aura locked onto me again. What? I ordered you to take it. Do you dare refuse? I felt that if I didn't decide now, I would be crushed by this pressure. Luo Qingcheng and Yun Weishui also looked at me. They obviously wanted to see how I would react. Facing this sword tassel, I slowly reached out my trembling hand. Sweat dripped down my forehead. Just an inch away from the tassel, things suddenly changed. A pitch-black arrow suddenly shot over. In a split second, I had no time to think. I reached my hand out hard and grabbed the falling tassel. At the same time, I pushed off my feet, lunging forward in a super awkward way. Bumping right into Feng Qianning's legs, the poisoned black arrow grazed her neck, cutting off a strand of hair and pinned deeply into the pillar behind her. The pillar turned black instantly. Meanwhile, I was flat on my face, lying at Feng Qianning's feet, holding the sword tassel tightly. And I was still flat on my face, right at Feng Qianning's feet, gripping that sword tassel hard. A cold feeling came from my palm, but the expected glow never showed up. It just lay quietly in my hand, just like an ordinary broken rock. No reaction. So it's really not him, said the Empress. Feng Qianning's eyes were super complex, showing relief and disappointment, and a hint of lingering fear. Feng Qianning spun around, her eyes full of killer intent, staring into the distance. Search the woods and bring me the assassin. The royal guards and sect elders woke up and flew toward the assassin. Yun Weishua ignored the chaos, sharply noticing my weird behavior. Her icy gaze landed on me. She watched my falling posture, and the doubt in her eyes grew deeper. My dive not only pushed the Empress away, but also dodged a fatal hit. I saved her in the most low-key way. No one would suspect a servant. They just think I got super lucky. But nothing gets past Yun Weishui. Finding the best move in a crisis is exactly what she taught me back then. I didn't dare look up. I just kept trembling like a scared idiot. I still didn't look up, acting totally terrified and shaking. You did well saving me. From today on, you are my personal guard. Stay by my side at all times. You can't, Your Majesty. This guy's background is shady. What if he's working with the assassin? I object as totally average and extremely weak. How can he guard Your Majesty? Since I spotted him first, I should take him with me. Why, I kinda like him too. I'll take him to the Demon Palace to be my foot-rubbing slave. Listening to them argue again, I felt my life was so doomed. Thanks to Zhao Changfeng's brilliant idea, they reached a crying agreement. To look into the Sword Saint's death, all three will build camps out back. By day, I work for the Empress, keeping her safe. By night, I serve Demon Lord Luo Qingcheng. At dawn, I clean the Master's yard for hours. They treat me like a shared employee, working 24/7 in 3 shifts. They are treating me like a temp worker, working 3 shifts around the clock. And I became the Winsect's most wanted guy in the whole cultivation world. Everyone looks at me with pure jealousy. Only I know, I just jumped into 3 death traps. First day working for Empress Freya, I was enjoying the peace, trying to keep a low profile. Lilith strutted over holding a stone box, sounding super sweet. Freya, you work so hard. I made some blood soup for you. I know Lilith's tricks all too well. The blood she is talking about was probably drained from some poor guy, playing nice for no reason. She must be up to no good. Tell me, what are you planning now? We are allies right now. Can't a girl just care for her friend? Lilith gracefully poured a bowl of soup and handed it over to Freya. Here, try this, it is super healthy. That soup was red as blood, looking super creepy. Freya stared at the bowl, frowning and refused to take it. I stood right by the door. My heart was in my throat. This stuff was not regular soup at all. It was a super strong love potion. Once you drink it, this stuff was not regular soup at all. It was a super strong love potion. Once you drink it, no matter how strong your magic is, you will be burning with desire. You will explode if you do not hook up. Lilith is such an evil witch. Trying to drug Freya like that, Freya stared right back at Lilith, with eyes full of cold suspicion. Lilith, stop playing these cheap tricks. I have no time for your games. You are overthinking things. I was just trying to be nice. If you do not believe me, I will get someone to test it for you. Lilith suddenly turned her head and locked her eyes right on me. Hey, you! Your name is Barney, right? Come here and test this soup for the Empress. I looked down to hide my sharp gaze, and slowly walked over to them. Your Highness Lady Demon Lord. Lilith shoved the bowl in my face. Drink it right now. I stared at that bowl of soup, feeling like it was worse than poison. What are you too scared to drink? Do you think it is poisoned or something? Lilith glanced over at Freya. Freya looked extremely furious. Freya did not think it was poisoned. She was just doubting Lilith's motives, and I became a pawn in their little game. I reached out with a shaking hand. Right before I touched the bowl, I totally faked a slip. Whoa, I yelled as I fell forward, acting like I had completely lost my balance. The bowl slipped from Lilith's fingers, but it fell perfectly smooth. Lilith quickly flipped her wrist, and the bowl stayed perfectly still in her hand. My head slammed hard into the table corner. My vision went totally black, and I started seeing stars. I felt warm liquid dripping down my forehead. Lying there on the floor, the whole world felt like it was spinning. Lilith stared down at me on the floor, with a very suspicious look in her eyes. You are actually pretty quick. Freya stared right at my dripping blood, thinking it is normal for a servant to slip, but the timing was just way too perfect, and way too smooth. Lilith pushed the bowl toward Freya again. Well, since he is too scared to drink it, you will just have to drink it yourself. Freya suddenly broke into a big smile, looking totally determined. Alright, fine. She picked up the bowl, and chugged it down while Lilith watched in shock. Freya slowly put down the empty bowl. Tastes pretty good. Freya slowly put down the empty bowl. Tastes pretty good. Lilith stared super hard at Freya's face, looking for any signs of the potion kicking in, but Freya just looked cold and bossy as ever. Totally normal. Lilith snapped her head around, glaring at me on the floor like a deadly snake. My heart totally sank. Oh crap. Lilith teleported right in front of me, and lifted me up into the air with one hand. She stared at the cut on my head, healing super fast. Your blood, I get it now. Freya drank the soup that got mixed with your blood, so the potion was completely neutralized. My blood is the blood of the sword Saint Zion. Even though it is sealed away, it still has the pure core of a master swordsman. Lilith looked like she was ready to kill me, turning her right hand into a sharp claw. There is something weird about your blood. Let me see what the hell you really are. Dark magic gathered right at her fingertips, as she struck right at my heart. Hanging up there in the air, my whole body just froze. Stop right there. Sylvia suddenly showed up at the study door, an icy sword aura mixed with intense dragon energy, and blasted straight toward Lilith. The force completely knocked Lilith back, making her drop me and stumble backward. Cold sword aura and fierce dragon aura clashed, blasting toward Lo Qingqing instantly. She was knocked back by the force, forced to let me go and step back. What do you two think you're doing? Fighting me over a piece of trash. He's my royal guard now. Touching him means crossing me. He's the man I want. The 3 of them had a standoff in the study. The tension was super high. I was on the floor right in the middle, feeling like I was in the eye of a hurricane. I had to come up with a plan to completely clear their suspicions, or I'd end up dead sooner or later. I suddenly struggled to get up, and rushed toward the food box on the table, snatching it while everyone looked shocked. I tilted my head and chugged the leftover soup, recklessly downing all the remaining love potion right into my mouth. I threw the empty box hard, and wiped my mouth wildly. Do you have a death wish? Fighting the burning heat inside me, I forced a miserable smile. My ladies, please stop fighting. He actually drank it. That's a massive dose. Even an ancient beast would explode on the spot. But I didn't explode. My body just turned red like a boiled shrimp. My eyes lost all clarity, leaving only pure primal desire. Facing these 3 stunning beauties, the potion fully kicked in. A storm was about to hit. My eyes lost all clarity, leaving only pure primal desire. I stared intensely at the 3 women, Empress Feng Qianning, Luo Qingcheng, and Yun Weishui. The aloof fairy Luo Qingcheng wasn't scared, but actually looked excited. Crazy, he's totally lost his mind. Interesting. This is so interesting. Let me see what a mortal can do under this power. Feng Qianning frowned deeply, and instinctively took a step back. Her protective dragon aura flared up. Yun Weishu's ancient sword started buzzing. She clearly wanted to kill me. If I dared to pounce on her, she'd strike me down without hesitation. I forced down the burning lust inside me, using my last bit of sanity to control my body. Aiming for the thickest golden pillar in the study, I slammed my head right into it. I used all the strength I had left, feeling like my skull cracked open. My vision went completely black, and I collapsed onto the floor, passing out completely. I used all the strength I had left, feeling like my skull cracked open. My vision went completely black, and I collapsed onto the floor, passing out completely. I have no idea how long I was out. When I woke up again, I found myself on a big soft bed. 3 people were standing by the bed. It was Feng Channing, Luo Qingqing, and Yun Weixiu. I struggled to sit up, but my head throbbed with splitting pain. I touched my head and asked in total confusion, "Where am I? What happened?" Yun Weixiu reached out and held me down. "Don't move. Your skull is fractured, and your spirit is shaken. You need to rest, you little fool. Don't you remember? You almost tore down Feng's palace yesterday." "I wrecked Her Majesty's palace. I didn't mean to." "Uh-oh. Please forgive me, Your Majesty." Feng Tianning finally spoke, sounding a bit exhausted. Feng Tianning finally spoke, sounding a bit exhausted. "That's enough. You are a victim too. I don't blame you. Just focus on recovering." Luo Qingqing suddenly leaned in, looking at me curiously. "Your frail body is surprisingly tough, though, taking such a massive dose of that potion without exploding. You just knocked yourself out." It's a real miracle." After I slammed into that pillar to prove myself, my life got a lot easier. Feng Tianning stopped glaring at me and treated me like a real guard. Sometimes when she got tired of paperwork, she'd let me massage her shoulders. If I rubbed too hard or too soft, she'd yell at me right away. But that actually made me feel at ease. Luo Qingqing stopped trying to test me too. She'd just tease me with words sometimes. Seeing my face turn red in embarrassment, she'd laugh her head off. She really seemed to treat me like a fun toy. As for Yun Weixiu, she still made me sweep her yard every day. But the way she looked at me had a softness I couldn't figure out. Sometimes she'd play the zither in the bamboo forest. The music sounded so lonely, filled with endless longing. Sometimes she sits in the bamboo forest playing her zither. The melody sounds so lonely, filled with endless longing. I know she is missing Chen Xin. And I, Wang Erniu, just stand not far away, quietly sweeping the fallen leaves. Playing the role of a good listener, their investigation is going smoothly too. But all results point to one thing, that the Sword Saint Chen Xin perished together with the Demon Emperor. Body and soul completely destroyed. No flaws can be found at all. I know they are slowly accepting the fact that Chen Xin is already dead. This is so cruel to them. But a total relief for me, once they completely give up and leave this middle of nowhere. My good days as Wang Erniu will be back. However, I was way too naive. One day I was in Feng Qianning courtyard. A royal guard captain rushed in from outside the palace. Reporting to Your Majesty, something abnormal happened at Heaven's Fall. Feng Qianning suddenly stood up in her study. "What is it?" "Your Majesty, in the center of Heaven's Fall where the sword god blew himself up, a giant space rift suddenly appeared. Extremely pure alien demonic energy is leaking from it." Feng Qianning's face changed. Someone is faking the aura of the Demon Emperor to make this, just to lure the 3 of them over. Who would have the guts to plot against the 3 strongest women at once? Countless thoughts flashed through my mind, and finally locked onto one suspect, Phantom Temple. Phantom Temple is an ancient group hidden in history. They worship evil gods from outer realms, always trying to overthrow the whole world. To build an evil god kingdom on Earth, back when I was still the Sword Saint. I fought them multiple times, knowing well how weird and strong they are. They were behind the descent of the Demon Emperor. I faked my death partly to ditch Feng Qianning and the others, and partly to hide in the shadows, to fully investigate this Phantom Temple. I did not expect before I could even act. They just showed up themselves. And with such a huge setup right away, no Feng Qianning and the others are in danger. Since Phantom Temple dares to set this trap, they must be fully prepared. I was burning with anxiety, then took a deep breath. My eyes became firm. I am done hiding today. I took a step forward. My figure instantly disappeared. I was burning with anxiety, then took a deep breath. My eyes became firm. I am done hiding today. I took a step forward and vanished from the spot. Next second, I appeared in the back mountain of Qingfeng sect. Inside my broken woodshed, I lifted the bedboard and took out a dusty wooden box from the secret compartment. Opening the box, a broken sword lay quietly inside. It was the remains of my life sword untainted. During that self-explosion, I used a secret art to keep a trace of its spirit, and nourished it till now. I reached out and grabbed the hilt. "Old buddy, it is time for our comeback." The moment my voice fell, I unlocked the turtle breath technique inside me. An aura suppressed for a whole year. The terrifying aura of the Sword Saint burst out. Heaven's Fall. The former battlefield is now a dead, scorched earth. In the center of the land, a massive space rift is constantly spewing out dark, demonic energy. Feng Qianning, Luo Qingqing, and Yun Weixiu hover in midair, staring at the rift with grave looks. Feng Qianning, Luo Qingqing, and Yun Weixiu hover in midair, staring at the rift with grave looks. The demonic energy is very pure. It is indeed the aura of the Demon Emperor, but he should be completely dead by now. Feng Qianning guessed. Maybe it is one of his backup plans, or his successor. Yun Weixiu said nothing, just gripped the sword in her hand, scanning around vigilantly. "No matter what it is, since we are here, let us go in and see." Luo Qingqing is bold and skilled. Saying this, she was about to rush into the rift. Yun Weixiu stopped her. "Wait, something is off. This demonic energy is too stable. If it were a real space rift, the energy dissipation should be unstable, fluctuating up and down. But look at the speed and density of it. It has not changed at all since we arrived, like someone is controlling it precisely with a formation." Reminded by her words, Feng Qianning and Luo Qingqing also noticed the issue. Feng Qianning frowned slightly, spiritual power quietly gathering at her fingertips. Luo Qingqing's eyes turned cold, her immortal aura already forming a solid shield. Qianning frowned, magic gathering at her fingertips. Qingqing glared coldly, her aura turning solid. The scorched earth below them lit up. Endless blood-red lines formed a huge weird magic circle, covering the whole fallen land. At the same time, 32 dark-robed masters appeared around them. A hoarse voice came from them. "Welcome to the Nether God Array. We have been waiting for you." Qianning recognized him. Her face instantly turned pale. "It is you, Dark Lord Ye Kangqiong." Ye Kangqiong smiled and bowed. "It is me, Your Majesty. How have you been?" Qianning shouted in anger. Golden dragon energy burst out, turning into a giant golden dragon, roaring towards Ye Kangqiang. It is useless. In this nether god array, your power will be drained and converted, while our power will keep growing. You are just lambs to the slaughter. As soon as he finished, the golden dragon hit an invisible blood barrier. Letting out a wail. It was completely shattered. Tianning turned pale, feeling her magic energy flow stagnate. Qingcheng and Weiqiu felt the same suppression. Ye Kangqiang sounded full of disdain. Changsing, that fool, tried to kill a demon king, but ended up killing himself. He did not know the demon king was just a lowly servant to my master. If he were not dead, things might have been different today. Too bad he is dead. The era of today will be completely ended by our dark temple. Ye Kangqiang raised his hands, laughing madly. The 32 robed men chanted a dark spell. The array shot bloody light into the sky, forming a giant bloody cage slowly shrinking. Terrifying pressure crushed in from all sides. Just as the three women felt hopeless, a clear sword cry suddenly rang from the sky. Ye Kangqiang stopped laughing abruptly. He suddenly looked up at the sky. Above the blood-red sky, a white sword light fell like a meteor. The light was just a spark at first, then quickly turned into a massive sword aura. Wherever the aura passed, the blood barrier was like paper, easily torn into a huge gap. The sword light finally landed in the center, kicking up clouds of dust. As the dust cleared, a familiar yet strange figure, holding a broken sword, stood there quietly. The three women were stunned. They looked at that figure, looked at that familiar broken sword, and looked at those clear eyes. Their bodies shaking uncontrollably. My voice was calm and cold, yet full of undeniable authority. Who gave you the nerve to touch my people? The voices of Qianning and Qingcheng were filled with joy and disbelief. Changsing, it is him. It really is him. Weiqiu did not speak, but her sword hand was shaking. Her eyes instantly turned red. Ye Kangqiang looked different for the first time. Changsing, impossible. Your soul was completely destroyed. I saw it with my own eyes. I said lightly. Changsing, impossible. Your soul was completely destroyed. I saw it with my own eyes. I said lightly. You only saw what I wanted you to see. I did not look at him anymore, but turned my head. Looking at the three women crying and laughing, I sighed helplessly in my heart. Step back and stay away. Do not get blood on yourselves. My voice was not loud, but it was an absolute order. The three usually bossy queens now acted like obedient little girls, backing away without a word, making room for my battle. Stop playing tricks. So what if you are not dead? You are all alone, and I have 32 masters here. Ha 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 ha. Plus the nether god array. Today is your real doom. I smiled and raised my broken sword, pointing it at the sky. I have a sword that could move mountains and split skies, but today I will use it to slay demons. As soon as I said that, I simply swung my sword forward. He roared like a maniac. The whole abyssal god array started shrinking fast. Endless blood magic rushed right into his body. In a flash, he went from a handsome guy to 100-foot tall, terrifying monster. Ah, feel this divine power from beyond. I am stronger than the demon emperor ever was. How can you even fight me? I just smiled and raised my broken sword again. Watch closely, this strike is called the Void. Centered on the tip of my sword, a black dot appeared right before our eyes. It expanded fast, turning into a spinning black hole, pulling everything in with crazy force. The moment Nightshade got close, he was quietly swallowed and torn apart, reduced to basic dust. He tried to run, but his body was dragged right into the void. The moment Nightshade got close, he was quietly swallowed and torn apart, reduced to basic dust. He tried to run, but his body was dragged right into the void. With his death, the abyssal god array lost its core and shattered completely. The bloody sky over the promised land faded away. Sunlight hit the scorched earth once again. I put away my broken sword, and the black hole vanished with it, but a chill ran down my spine, because three warm, sweet scents had totally surrounded me from all sides. Empress Phoenix lunged at me first. Ignoring her royal pride, she hugged me tight, buried her face in my chest, and cried out loud, "You jerk! Why did you not die? Do you know what I went through this past year?" While crying, she kept punching my chest. Then Allura squeezed in too, hugging my waist from behind, her voice sounding tearful and flirty. "You heartbreaker, you fooled me so badly. How are you gonna make it up to me? You heartbreaker, you fooled me so badly. How are you gonna make it up to me?" Last was Master Snow. She did not jump on me like the others, just stood there quietly. Her beautiful eyes were red, tears falling silently. I looked at her, my voice a bit dry. Master Snow did not speak, just reached out her shaky hand and touched my cheek, like making sure this was not a dream. Her fingertips were cold. Worn with tears, she had lost weight. My heart ached. Almost made me cry too. I am sorry. Hearing those words, Empress Phoenix cried even harder. Allura hugged me tighter, and Master Snow's tears fell faster, held by three crying gorgeous women. Should be every guy's ultimate dream. But I just felt totally panicked. And on edge, because I knew after the joy and tears came the harsh interrogation. Sure enough, after crying for a while, Empress Phoenix finally looked up. She wiped her tears. Got her royal vibe back. "Tell me what is going on here. Why fake your death to fool us? Tell me, what is going on here? Why fake your death to fool us?" Allura let go too, walked around to face me, crossed her arms and stared. "Yeah, I am curious too. Our great sword saint faked his death, rather than stay with us. Did we not treat you well enough?" Master Snow looked at me too, with hurt and confusion in her eyes. "Give me a reason." Because I got annoyed. After I said that dead silence, they looked at me, with super mixed feelings. Feeling wronged, bitter and angry, but mostly it was realization and pity. They never thought that their so-called love was actually a burden to me. After a long while, Allura broke the silence first. She sighed. walked up to me, fixed my messy collar. You dummy. Just a total sword-obsessed dummy. Could you not just tell us? Did you really have to do this? Empress Phoenix tried to speak, but just let out a sigh instead. Seeing them act so reasonable suddenly, I did not relax at all. I got even more suspicious. Sure enough, Allura smiled and said, but we can't just let this fake death slide. You must tell me bedtime stories every night. No way. He is my royal guard now. So he belongs in the Imperial Palace. There is a side hall next to my bedroom, which is perfect for him. Why, he drank my love potion, so he is my man now. He is my student. I looked at these three women I loved and hated, then at the ruined Zephyr sect far away, and the shivering disciples hiding on the hills, feeling totally helpless like never before. I am the great sword saint. I just killed the Phantom Lord and saved the whole world. But right now I just want to die again. I weakly raised my hand. Can I pack my bedroll in the woodshed first? The three women turned their heads at once and yelled at me together. No way. I closed my eyes, giving up, and let out a long sigh. The chill and easy life of Billy Bob is gone forever and never coming back, and my real troubles might have just begun.